Hey everyone, welcome back to the table. This time I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite abominations in all of Zombicide, and that is the Swamp Lurker. This was a Kickstarter exclusive abomination that came with the Green Horde set that I actually was lucky enough to find on eBay because I got into Zombicide after all of that had happened. However, what makes this guy extra special is the terrain that he is built around, which is the swamp terrain that you'll find in the Green Horde sets. Whenever he is on these spaces, he is invulnerable to attacks. You're gonna have to lure him off of it and then attack him when he's out of the swamp, which makes him incredibly powerful. He also has regular abomination rules too, which means all of his hits are going to be unblockable, and you're going to have to do at least 3 damage to him in order to kill him, which, if you've played this game, you know is actually really difficult. Most of the time, you're going to have to find some dragon bile and a torch in order to kill this guy. So without further ado, here he is, and here's how to paint him and make him look super cool. We're going to start off with some Citadel Color Orc Flesh contrast paint. Now, if any of you guys have ever painted with contrast paints before, you know what I'm about to say, which is that most people think it's cheating. It honestly is pretty close. It really gets into the recesses and makes those recesses darker for you so that you're not going to waste a whole lot more extra time trying to bring out those layers on top. You do limit yourself in terms of the variety of colors that you can build out. However, it saves you so much time. It really is a great product. What you see me using next is the Vanilla Ice Cream Apple Barrel paint. I sort of just applied this everywhere that his bones were showing, and it worked okay. It came out a little thick. I had to go through and thin it out with some water after the fact, which is probably not exactly what you want. If you used any type of Citadel or Army Painter white or like ice cream looking color instead, it would probably work a lot better. However, in the end, I will say that it worked out great. I also used this on the teeth area as well. And then for the tongue, I just used a Citadel pink-ish color. If you want to know the exact one, I'll make sure that it shows up. Then you see me here mixing some of that vanilla ice cream color with the orc flesh and highlighting the areas on the orc flesh that I think needed to be highlighted. It really brought out that skin and those raised areas really, really well. Dry brushed it pretty much everywhere. What you see me doing here is applying contrast skeleton horde Citadel paint all over where those bones are. Now, if I could go back and do it, I probably would have tried to use a little bit less. You'll see me in a second really try to bring out more of that white color that I began with. But again, by the end, once it dries, like, you're gonna think, oh gosh, this is going on way too tan. But once it dries, it absolutely looks like bone. The more I look at it, the more I'm very pleased with what this did to the paint, to the abomination itself. Looks really great. What you see me doing here is applying a red tone Army Painter quick shade to the under areas underneath the bone, just to kind of bring out like what would be blood sticking out of this orc because his bones are absolutely protruding from his body. So there should be more blood. I applied it more to the bones as well. In the end, you can definitely tell there's like a red tint to all of the bones, which I liked a lot. Here you see me applying a flesh wash. This probably wasn't entirely necessary, but I wanted it to look a little bit smoother because, again, that white paint did not go on super smooth. It was very thick. And I wish that I had used thinner paints on that area. Here you see me using another blue contrast paint to make up his little loincloth there. I just needed any color there. I thought blue would contrast well with the the bone color, and it ended up turning out really, really well. What I enjoy doing most because it brings out so much in the miniature is the basing. So what I did was I covered the whole thing in black, which I normally do first anyway. Then I used some Mod Podge and covered the top area around his feet and everything else, and applied this mixture of blended turf from Woodland Scenics. This is great stuff. If you don't want to have to buy a whole bunch like what I have, I only have 5, but still, actually, no, I have a lot more than that. They're just not in this picture. If you don't want to have to buy a bunch, this is great. And then what you see me applying right after that is sort of like a highlight is this earthy blended turf as well. These two mixed create such a, you don't really need anything else. What you see me applying there is just some Army Painter tufts. I'm not really sure which ones they are, but I'm pretty sure that I was just looking for some that looked swampy, because he is the Swamp Lurker. I then mixed in with all of that the brown Battleground from Army Painter. This stuff I used as a test on another thing that I didn't really enjoy, so I'm just trying to get rid of it at this point. So I sprinkled some on to kind of look like dirty areas around his feet, where he might have kicked up the grass around him, and that turned out pretty well too. I realized after applying all of this that I really wish that it was a little bit darker. I mean, swampy areas is like a dark green, right? And so, simple fix for you guys who are wondering, does this work, does this not work, is I took some Nuln oil, and you'll notice that I just apply it on the grass. Now, keep in mind you want to wait until it dries. I was a little antsy, so I probably could have waited a little bit longer. You'll see that as I paint it, some of the rocks come up. That's okay. So I enjoyed doing this one. Then you'll see right here what the end product looked like. If I could do anything different, and if you can learn from any of my mistakes, is that for one, the bones are a little dark. I wish that they did not look as dark as they did. If you want to still use Skeleton Horde, I would highly recommend maybe, I don't know, thinning it out, whatever you can do, or maybe instead of using a contrast paint on the bones, use the ice cream colored paint, whatever you have, and then just a brown wash over top of it to really keep that white underneath of it. However, I still really enjoy that color. I think it looks really, really cool for the end product that I had. I am very excited for my players. Next time we all gather and are able to play Zombicide again, next time they play, for me to bust this out and for them to get a little more scared, because let's be honest, when they're just the gray things, they look cool, but they're a lot scarier once they're painted up, and it's a lot more thematic and you can get lost in the game a lot easier. I'm going to be doing a couple more of these. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like and subscribe button if you did. For more of our content, check out these videos that'll pop up here in a second, because we do a lot of playthroughs, Kickstarters, all of those things. And really, all in all, it's just to show you how much fun we have playing board games, and hopefully that is contagious to you as well. Hope you guys have a great week. Bye.